The idea that human beings developed on a separate track from the rest of life, that we are somehow a special species with superior capabilities, has proven itself a devastating philosophy. This was not the first people's approach to life on Earth. They suggest that we have strayed from the original instructions. Bioneers warn that this widely accepted, self-centered, humans are better than the rest of life idea could lead us to ruin. When did our own reflection become more fascinating than the miracle and the beauty of life around us? Is staring into the mirror of human technology and ingenuity the wisest way to proceed toward the 22nd century? In this program, Stephen Foster, Jeremy Narby, Jennifer Greene, Peter Warshall, Paul Stamets, and Terry Tempest Williams turn Narcissus' mirror away for a moment and help us look up from species-wide self-absorption to gaze in awe as we explore Gaian wonders of the co-evolutionary dance. My name is Michael Toms. I'll be your host. Welcome to the Bioneers, Revolution from the Heart of Nature.
One of the things I want you to do this morning is find a way to question your own assumptions about your own thought processes.
Stephen Foster has served as a medicinal and aromatic plant specialist for more than 20 years. The author of many books, including Herbs for Your Health and Herbal Renaissance, he is president of Stephen Foster Group, Incorporated, a consulting firm serving the medicinal and aromatic plant industries. He spoke at a recent Bioneers conference.
It happened to me about 20 years ago, a little event in the woods. I've lived in Arkansas for over 20 years. I moved there. I had a job offer to start an herb school when I was 22 years old, and it turned out not to be real. So I ended up stuck in Arkansas with no job, no money, no car. I found a cabin to live in about a mile in the woods and lived there alone for 2 years, and it turned out to be one of the most valuable experiences of my life. And so I would spend about half the day writing and about half the day walking in the woods. And there was a favorite little spot I used to go to. There was just a little tiny permanent pool of water there with snail darters, a nice little waterfall when it was raining, and a lovely dogwood hanging over this little pool of water. And I used to go there and sit. And, you know, after doing this for a couple of years, I felt like I was pretty in touch with nature. But beneath all that was this subconscious human assumption that we had dominion over the plants and the earth. And, you know, I didn't think I thought that, but a dragonfly landed on a branch in front of me. And so I was sitting there communing with nature, and I started looking at the dragonfly. And we started staring into each other's eyes. And this went on for several minutes. And then the dragonfly took its two front legs and put them on either side of its head and turned its head 180 degrees, came back to center and turned it around the other way. And that single experience made me realize that I had to question every assumption that I had in my mind.
Stephen Foster.
Molecular biology is a great way for understanding just how interconnected we all are.
Jeremy Narby is an anthropologist whose book, The Cosmic Serpent, looks at how consciousness and intelligence came into being. For 10 years he explored the Amazonian rainforests, the libraries of Europe, and scientific journals to show that DNA and the life it codes for at the cellular level may possess mind qualities, a belief shared by Amazonian shamans. Here, he paints a vivid picture of our kinship with all life.
If you just look into the human biology of being a walking cell bag, excuse my reductionism, and just a fantastic, just how wonderful it is that I was one cell, a fertilized egg, and then it's diversified into 250 different cell types, and then it set it up in the form that it's in with a nicely wired brain, and and it self-repairs itself, and all these 100,000 billion cells sending each other signals and committing suicide sometimes to be replaced when sunburn happens, and setting themselves up to be the being that I am in a kind of constant form. It's fantastically interesting. And then you look at how a nematode worm, which has 959 cells, is set up, and you can see that this is just a variation. I am a variation on a nematode worm. It has a mouth, a digestive tract, 300 neurons, and a cuticle, and its cells are sending each other the same signals that my cells are. We are physico-chemical cousins. The worm and I, the hummingbird and the otter, the rose, the elephant, the carrot, and the giraffe. We are family, including the anaerobic bacteria that are living at the volcano vents at the bottom of the ocean. This whole biospheric, organic thing that surrounds the molten rock, which is the planet, and gives it air and blueness and breathability and constant temperature. It's just a fantastic thing. And you can actually get your mind blown just by understanding the science of, the biology of our beings and of the biosphere.
Jeremy Narby.
It transforms substances in evaporation. It condenses. It divides. It provides the possibility of life itself.
Remember as a child squatting down and gazing with endless fascination into a mud puddle after a summer rain? Jennifer Greene never lost her sense of wonder. A founding member of the Water Research Institute of Blue Hill and Waterforms Incorporated, she has established the only drop picture laboratory in the United States. Combining her research with sculpture, Greene creates beautiful flow forms that purify water. Her laboratory, located in Maine, doubles as a theater for watching water drops.
When a drop hangs on Earth, it is pulled down by gravity. When it hangs in space, it is fully spherical and absolutely round. And about 15 missions ago on the space shuttle, they did some very interesting experiments with large, huge drops. I mean big-time huge drops. Big drops that they were able to form. And on the surface, they were astounded at what they observed. All these forms and ordered chaos forms, vortices, and it was astonishing. And a drop is an extraordinary thing. It's a layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and I can go on upon layer of itself, so thin that it cannot be measured. And if you were to peel a drop like you would an onion and lay it out contiguously, one layer after another on the ground, it would cover half an acre. One drop, half an acre of area. So here we have a drop and drops composed of layers of itself, all the time shimmering and moving and turning, with this very interesting layer on the outside which holds the whole thing together, we think. Surface tension. You can't see it, you can only see the effects of it. And there's nothing that gets us quite excited as sitting around wondering what that outside layer is, in fact, because it's quite different. There are many ways that water is the midwife to life and serves it. For instance, water drops in temperature and becomes more dense as the temperature drops, denser and denser and denser until at 4 degrees centigrade, not 0, but at 4 degrees centigrade, it is at this most dense point. And then as the temperature continues to drop, the whole thing lightens up, expands, and freezes. Ice, therefore, floats. But look at the dynamic. You have the sinking temperature, this densification, and as if wrested from death, it expands and is lifted out again. Therefore, we do not have the wasteland that we otherwise would have. A wonderful example of
one of the things I want you to do this morning is find a way to question your own assumptions.
We have strayed from the original instructions. Bioneers warn that this widely accepted, self-centered, humans are better than the rest of life idea could lead us to ruin. When did our own reflection become more fascinating than the miracle and the beauty of life around us? Is staring into the mirror of self-absorption, to gaze in awe as we explore Gaian wonders of the co-evolutionary dance. My name is Michael Toms. I'll be your host. Welcome to the Bioneers, Revolution from the Heart of Nature. Of human technology and ingenuity, the wisest way to proceed toward the 22nd century? In this program, Stephen Foster, Jeremy Narby, Jennifer Greene, Peter Warshall, Paul Stamets, and Terry Tempest Williams turn Narcissus' mirror away for a moment and help us look up from species-wide. The idea that human beings developed on a separate track from the rest of life, that we are somehow a special species with superior capabilities, has proven itself a devastating philosophy. This was not the first people's approach to life on Earth. They suggest that